once you start generating more leads than you can personally handle yourself, you either got to start referring them to somebody in your office, you need to start giving them away, or you need to start building a team. Now, I told you guys that we sold over 500 homes this year, but that's not me. I probably haven't seen more than 3 of them. It's my team, and my team does an awesome job, mostly because I hire awesome people. But they're going out there and they're doing their 20%. Their 20% is buyer appointments and listing appointments. My 20% is lead generation to make sure that they have enough people on their team for them to work. I'll take you through the steps of how we build our team, and I've shared this with some of you guys before, so I apologize, but you need to learn it anyway again. Admin, my very first hire. Once you can get to 10 to 24 transactions, you need to be hiring an assistant. That assistant will free up your time so you're not doing $10 an hour paperwork, flyers, all that kind of junk, so that you can go out there and get more appointments. If you feel like you're hitting that and you're not quite at that mark, maybe you could subsidize by getting a virtual assistant. I use a company called My Outdesk, and I use another company called Virtual Assistant Staffing. Both of them provide us virtual assistants for our Craigslist postings, our paperwork, our flyers, our short sale negotiations, and so on. After you hire an admin, you're going to end up spending all your time on appointments. Once you get more listing appointments and more buyers appointments that you can handle, the first thing you're going to hand off is your buyer leads, and you're going to do that by hiring a buyer specialist. In my business, I know that for every 30 leads that I generate, I can afford to have 1 buyer specialist, because that buyer specialist can do between 2 and 4 transactions a month with that type of leads and then work in their own database. Once you have enough buyer specialists and you're tired of going on listing presentations, you need to hire a listing specialist. That's probably going to be somewhere between 100 and 150 transactions. What I normally do is pay my listing specialist a salary, and then they get a bonus on every transaction. Now, if my listing specialists are the ones that are going out there and doing the prospecting, calling the canceled expires, then they get paid more. And then the last hire you're going to make is your replacement, so you can go off and start enjoying life. Remember that if you don't have any staff, assistants, buyer specialists, listing specialists, you have a job. What I mean by a job is if you get sick, you break your leg, you fall down, something like that happens, you don't get paid. The only way that you have a business is if you have something you can sell and something that keeps going, irregardless of you're there. My real estate team is pretty simple. There's me. I generate the leads. I have a support staff. I have a team of buyer's agents. I have a team of listing specialists. For the last 4 or 5 years, this is how my team has been made up. Now, we're building our team a little differently. We're trying to go back based on the recommendations of my mentor, Gary Keller, and we're building what we believe is the team of the future. This team of the future talks about the new model, on how do we optimize and maximize the amount of transactions that our agents can do so we don't need a whole bunch of agents. We can get more done with less. What I'm talking about is building a team that still has buyer specialists, has listing specialists, but each one of them get their own assistants. These assistants are called showing assistants or listing assistants. These will allow your buyer specialist from being able to do 20 to 30 deals to now being able to do 80 to 120 transactions. These will allow your listing specialist to be able to, instead of managing 40 or 50 listings, to now being able to manage 100 or 200 or 300 listings. This is a great model. We've been testing it for the last 6 months, and we're getting great results. We're getting buyer's agents that are closing 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 deals a month. This is great for our team. Here's the way it works. Lead generation, that's what I do. I generate enough leads for the team, which includes, I also pay for the admin and the staff and the support. My buyer's agents are required, got an echo on there, guys. My buyer's agents are allowed to or handle the lead conversion. Their job is to email and call all the leads. Once they get a buyer consultation, they invite their showing assistant into the room. They both go through the presentation of, what kind of home are you looking for? Are you pre-approved with the lender? This is how the process works. Get them to sign the buyer loyalty agreement or the buyer's agency contract, depends on what you want to call it. And then they say, oh, by the way, I've identified 8 properties for you to view today, Joe, my showing assistant is going to be out showing you homes. When it's done, you're going to come back. If we want to make an offer on anything, I'll help you guys negotiate the offers and pick out a good price. And while that showing assistant is out showing properties, the buyer's agent is in the office setting more appointments for either another showing assistant or for the showing assistant the next day. The buyer's agent job just becomes, I'm going to set appointments. I'm going to focus on getting new buyers in our business. Once we get deals pending, the showing assistant is letting in the inspectors and letting in the appraisers, and then the closing is done by our staff. This allows good buyer's agents to build strong teams within your teams that will allow them to do 80, 100, I don't know, maybe 150, 200 transactions, go as big as they want. That'll give them a huge life. Now, if you're an individual agent right now, I want you to start thinking about, how could I use a showing assistant in my business? How could I use them to show the buyers that I don't really want to work with? How could I use them to let inspectors and appraisers in so that I had more time to spend prospecting to getting more appointments? Inevitably, there's somebody on the call that says, well, I don't want to give up my buyers. My buyers only want to talk to me. I only work my sphere, and my sphere only wants to talk to me. You know, personally, I think that's a bunch of crap. When's the last time you went into the doctor's office, and the doctor's office was the guy that was weighing you and sticking the thermometer in your mouth and doing all these separate items? No, they have assistants, they have staff, they have nurses. You're paid the same amount as a doctor. Start acting like one. Get some staff to support you. Here's how you compensate them. If you're running a team, I make 50%, 50% goes to my buyer's agent. Understand that people on my team have no expenses. I pay for all the leads, lock boxes, signs, flyers, staff, all those types of things. The buyer's agents, they get 50%. From their 50%, they can pay their showing assistants between 10 and 25%. The reason that it varies is because if you're sending them out to pig farming country to sell an $80,000 triple wide trailer and it's going to take 3 days of showing, I want to pay them more money. My goal is to get our showing assistants making $1,000 closing 4 to 8 closings a month. If they're showing high-priced properties in town, we'll probably cut it down to about 10%. Now, same thing goes with listing assistants. With listing assistants, you pay them between 5 and 10% of the total commission. They go out there, they're the ones hosting the open houses, dropping off the flyers, doing the photographs, calling the sellers every week, just doing a lot of the work. And it's a way for you to build a team and a staff without having fixed salaries. This will allow you to take your business as big as you want it to go. Now, depending on your own state, there's different licensing requirements for those individuals. In my state of Washington, if they talk to clients, deal with clients, handle contracts with the MLS, they need to be licensed. So keep that in mind and make sure you follow the rules.